Hi everyone and welcome back to 5 Minute Family Search. So here we are in the Access to Archival Databases, the AAD with the National Archives, and we are going to go through prisoners of war. Now there is a lot of information here, more than just the prisoners of war. There are 11 here in the series. I find all of these fascinating. The one that I would like to focus on with you in this tutorial is down here towards the bottom, and it says it's the records of deceased, wounded, ill, or injured Army personnel, including dependents and civilian employees, created in 1961 to 1981, covering the time period of 1961 to 1981. And we can see there's over 293,000 records here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on search, and when I do, it's going to bring me up to this description. And again, I advise you to come down and read the scope and content so you can see exactly what you're researching. Here it tells us that approximately 85% of this record relates to the Vietnam War from 1961 to 1975. The file includes records for active duty enlisted personnel, general officers on active duty, retired or otherwise separated from the service, some National Guard and Army reservists, and some civilian employees and dependents if they were overseas and the casualty required a notification to someone. You can read down further and it'll tell you exactly the information that you can research through these files. So I don't have anybody specifically I know I can research out. I'm just going to come in here and put in Morton, and this is my maiden name, and just see what will come up. When I do, it tells me there are 30 records in here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on View Records. And as I do that, I can see this is the information that comes up. There's plenty here. I can click on more. This is the top 10 that came up first. I can read here across. I can view the record. It tells me the country of the casualty. This is for Harry H. Morton III. It tells me his grade, his current casualty status, the date of his casualty, information about his hometown, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and open up his record. When we do, it's going to bring up pretty much the same information, but maybe a little bit more. It tells us that it was a non-battle death. It has out his listed his information, his name, active duty Army. We're going to scroll down a little bit further. It tells us when he was killed on August of 1969. He was an aviator. He was Caucasian. So this is just more information that I could document back into my family tree if he was one of my relatives that I could source to show where he served, how he was killed, any information like that. All this information is just so amazing to me. It just brings these people to life. When you see his name, it's one thing, but when you were to go through and read that he was an aviator and how he passed away and when he was born, it's just information that makes these people so much more real to us. So again, if this was my relative, I would take this document, I would source it back into my family tree and his information so I could go ahead and validate his military service and any other information that I could pull from this record.